Hello everybody, this is Chester bringing the final game in the best of 5 matchup. This is the 5th game between the Green Protoss player Strange spawning on the bottom center and versus Siw spawning in the left center as the Pink Protoss. Now this has been a very interesting matchup between Siw and Strange. As I've pointed out several times before if you've been following along in the series, or if you're just joining now, I'll point it out again. This is a pro matchup. And even though it's a pro matchup, I actually don't know who Siw and Strange is. I'm trying to look him up, as I have said numerous times before. And as I also said, please, if you can help me out here on identifying these players, or even just give me a resource for future references to find players and their respective rankings, information, etc. Please let me know. As far as I know, though, these are both players from Russia. Russia is something I'm insinuating based on the text of the replay file that I saved this from SC2 Now, on the other hand, for some reason, not Russian. I don't really think it's not going to affect their gameplay. It's not going to really mean anything. Even if they were Korean, they really wouldn't mean anything, to be honest. I know a lot of people put a lot on Korean players, but I just doesn't really, it's not going to really matter in the end. Now, we've seen a very interesting play from both Siw and Strange. Strange opened up the first 2 games, coming in hard with first game. He 3-gate Robo with powerful prison drops in the back door that Siw was not prepared for, as Siw did not scout the robotics bay. What Siw ended up scouting was a 4-gate, a very slow 4-gate, because that 4th gate did come after the robotics bay, which was actually placed elsewhere on the map. Now, what we're seeing here is a cannon rush from Strange, who is trying to grab this win, forcing Siw to grab probes. Now, yes, he did spawn it here at the bottom. It's not necessarily because he was trying to deny expansion, but really solidify this pylon being here by building these cannons here first. But what I've ended up seeing is the pro coming up here and laying cannons here, which might be what we're seeing here in a second. There's just too much stuff warping in for Siw to really damage it. He does have a zealot out, but this looks to be a quick game if Siw can't hold this off. If he manages to hold this off, Siw is going to be in a really good position, because as of yet, I don't believe he's lost any probes. Yes, he has lost a couple workers, but his cannons, first cannon is finishing. It's going to be very damaging. It's going to need to hit this pylon. But the cannon just has just enough range, and he has vision of the high ground to where this zealot by himself is not going to be able to do anything without taking damage himself. Now we are seeing a second pylon going down. Now pylon over here, and this is not looking good for Siw at all. Siw needs to come up with something if he's going to be able to combat this himself. I do see a force coming down here. Oh wait, that is Siw's cannon. My apologies. He is forced to pull some probes. If he microed that back, cannon will oh man, should have microed that back. If he microed that back, the cannon would start attacking probes, buying zealot time to do the damage necessary to take down this pylon. Not that it would matter at all. It would rob Strange of vision to high ground, but he would still have this pylon here powering these 2 very menacing cannons. At this point, I believe yes, we are seeing Strange macro up. So this is not looking too good for Siw. Siw's going to need this win if he wants to win the series of matchup. Obviously, it's Game 5. At this point, both players have won 2 games. Siw is going for a stalker, which is a smart decision on his part. He's going to be able to hit that without taking damage himself. But that cannon is being really pesky. It's going to be he's going to need to watch his probes and make sure that they don't probe these minerals right here. Very slow, and there he goes. At this point, he is now breaking. Shit. I don't believe he's gonna have vision now because he's shooting from the high ground. Oh no, he still does not have like adequate vision to really do anything about these stalkers. And it's very smart from Siw. I think a lot of players would have, out of rage or whatever it might have been, might have tried to just mass zealot. But it's very smart from see this from Siw. I know as a non-pro DOS player, I probably would have ended up massing zealots, and even though I'm a fairly experienced player, I probably would not have thought about grabbing stalkers. But I guess if I was playing Pro DOS on a regular basis, I'd probably think about that. So we'll give myself the benefit of the doubt there. Now Siw is gonna push out for scouting purposes, and maybe because he probably feels that having invested so many minerals in those pylons and those cannons, Siw probably figures that Strange is not going to be able to defend against just 2 stalkers. But the reality is, he's hunkered down. He invested more into cannons, but at his home base, and he got this stock here, which is going to be more than enough to take out these 2 stalkers if Siw decide they want to push in. Even if Siw tries to run directly for the mineral lines, they're just not. Stalkers are not speedlings. They're not going to be able to make it there fast enough to get chewed up by the stalker and get chewed up by the stacks defense here. Now we are seeing a Wildlife Council coming in. We will see Link research coming in. So we're probably going to see a mass stalker from Strange. On the other hand, it appears that Siw is getting the robotics bay up. He is slowly getting rid of these cannons. Yeah, we'll see if Siw can catch up, and what she's actually doing a really nice job catching up right now. Strange deciding that it would be better for him to get ahead in the tech game by going ahead and get that +1 attack, getting more stalkers down, getting Plank researched. Now between all that, Strange, once he amasses just enough stalkers, maybe 5 or 6 more, that'll probably be all he needs to really make an effective attack, or to at the very least be really pestering. Now on the other hand, Siw does have this pylon here placed to be able to scout any prison drops ahead of time, and what we'll see here is Siw reacting based on what he's scouting here. He sees that Twilight Council down, he sees the gateways coming up, and he sees mass stalkers, so that should give him a pretty good indication on what Strange is going for. And appropriately, Siw is pumping out Immortals. In terms of the macro game, Siw has caught back up. You see that he's floating a little bit on minerals and gas, spending it appropriately. His pro count is 1 ahead of Strange, but that's all you need. That gives you the slight economic advantage. That's 1 pro more than you could afford to lose in terms of the overall game, and still be even with your opponent. Now, Siw made the right call getting a couple sentries. Get 3 or 4 sentries, you can continually deter front door attacks like this by just doing endless force fields on the ramp there. You only need 1. And at this point, Siw is going to know how far Strange is going to get. Out of rage, Strange destroyed the supply depot, which for those who don't realize, supply depots are here because it is an MLG map, which also means that they can't spawn across positions. But now with the Season 4 in gear, the ladder pool has been changed where you can't spawn close positions anyways. So great job on Blizzard on that initiative. Not that I had any problem with close spawns, to be honest, but that's just that is a little less scouting that you need to do, and I think it's a call made just to see more macro, more longer and interesting plays such as this. With 2 immortals out on the field, couple of sentries. This is going to be a powerful composition of units that's going to be able to really win to this engagement should Strange decide that he wants to pull out. Now, on the other hand, we see that Strange is taking a second, not as natural, but over here, which Siw's not going to be able to, Siw might not realize that he can scout. Well, actually, he did scout. Look at this. Siw's units right here, and it's going to be... Oh no, that's Strange. Strange could be warping units to take out that proxy pylon. And so Siw is fully aware that his opponent has disbanded. And it looks like he's going to try to capitalize on this by pushing out now. You realize that Strange is not going to necessarily have the force to really counter this. Well, not that necessarily, but rather he's going to be forcing Strange to be on still an even playing field for him, because instead of investing in probes like Strange would want to, Strange is being forced to warp in units in preparation for any attacks that Siw might make. You see these forward pylons from Siw. He is going to go for a very aggressive attack. But what he doesn't realize, I think, is that Strange did not invest so heavily into probes to get a second base running. So he did invest in a lot of units to counter this, and this is going to be enough to put Siw on his back foot. But whether or not it's going to be enough to break this engagement, and it is. Siw has rage quit. At this point, he knew that his opponent did get a second base up, even if it was not fully running. And a very terrible matchup for him. And I believe it. I feel for Siw. He's been 4-gated. He's been proxy-gated. He's been cannon brushed. That must be absolutely infuriating for Siw. But at any rate, that is the end of the best of 5 matchup. Strange has taken the best of 5 matchup. And as I said before, I don't believe this belonged to any tournament, but was rather a friendly matchup between both players. Now, if you'd like to see any more matchups from pro players, or maybe from your friends, or maybe from yourself, please leave a comment below. Please post in the forum that I'll link you to. Leave me any sort of feedback you want about the game, about the players, about me, about my boring monotone voice, and how I've been casting games. Let me know. Alright, anyways, go ahead and start compressing these videos so you guys can enjoy them. Jester out, keep gaming.